Hey everybody, welcome back to or welcome to Danica Marie and our Dope Discussions. Now today I want to come on here very briefly and touch base on something that maybe a lot of women today don't necessarily understand. Um, Men are becoming younger and younger and younger when it comes to not dealing with a lot of the antics, the behaviors, the mentalities, so on and so forth, the lifestyles of many women today, if they feel as though it's not really conducive to their overall health and well-being, if they feel like it's not going to reap them some kind of benefit, some kind of perk. Because let's not get it twisted, you guys. When it comes to relationships, whether we're talking about men or women, we're all looking to get some kind of return on our investment of love, time, energy, money, resources, sacrifice. We're all looking for some kind of return on those things. And so, with a lot of the women today really being selfish and entitled when it comes to getting or giving, rather, a man his return on his investment, there a lot of women not really trying to give them anything in return. Men are like turning their back on it, on relationships in its entirety. And what I really wanted to touch base on with this quick dope discussion is how the men are becoming younger and younger. Now, in one of our recent dope discussions, I had a young man as young as 20 years old. Okay, it was a 20-year-old young man sent in a super chat, and he was like, Danica, I'm 20 years old, and honestly, like, we're losing hope. Like, I think that it's best for us to really just focus on ourselves and building our empires and focus on our purpose and stuff like that. And that really shocked me because usually men are not reaching those type of conclusions until much further down the line. We're talking about, mid 30s, late 30s, things of that sort, not 20, you know. And so this is very alarming. And not only is it alarming, but it's also very much so a wake-up call for a lot of the women today to just kind of really take a look at the climate that we are creating, right? With a lot of us treating men like they're going to always be there and that they should always just tolerate and deal with and put up with whatever we give them, whatever we bring to their doorstep. They just have to bring it in, polish it up, clean it up, and set it on the damn table. They're not going for that anymore. As a matter of fact, a lot of them are ignoring you altogether. You know? And we need to really take heed to the fact that a lot of men are just not dealing with nonsense. Like, we have to really look in the mirror and say, okay, where are we going wrong? Why are we dealing with a new breed of man to where they're as young as 20 years old saying, I would rather not deal with a lot of the women today? And you guys, ladies, we have some of the most brilliant, hear me out. We have some of the most brilliant, motivated, driven, ambitious, intelligent, wise, building young men saying hell no to relationships. That's a problem. That's a huge problem. And what that is creating for us down the line, if not tomorrow, it's that close. When I say down the line, it's like tomorrow. What problem that is creating for us, ladies, is that a lot of us will be stuck in situations to where we're having to fend for ourselves Now, we all know it's in a woman's nature. Hear me out. We all know that it is in a woman's nature to look for and be with a man that is on a solid, sturdy foundation, that is a builder, right? That is providing, protecting, leading, teaching, all of those things. It is in our nature to be with those type of men so that we can rest in our femininity, right? Don't y'all love that phrase? So that we can rest and nest in our femininity, right? But so many of us, we're not taking the conversation further and saying, okay, yes, it's in my nature to be that way and to look for men that possess these certain qualities and characteristics. So again, I can rest and nest in my femininity. But we're not taking it further and saying, okay, what kind of woman do I have to be to obtain and maintain that type of relationship and be with that type of man? We're not going there, which is why a lot of men, even as young as 20 years old, are saying, hell no, we won't go. Because we're not having those conversations. We're not exemplifying. We're not putting into motion what, those type of men are looking for or are desiring from a woman. We're just not doing that today. All of the mind games, all of the manipulation tactics, it's not working anymore. You just trying to coast by on your fat ass, your nice breasts, your big pretty lips, sex, it's not working anymore. We have young men as young as 20 saying, "No, I'm good. I'm good, love. Enjoy." They are ignoring you. So all this time, we have been taught that we can always coast by and get over on men by way of our looks, sex, manipulation tactics, mind games, and you'll still be able to reel those men in, and they'll still be eating out of the palm of your hand. No longer. No more. No mas. And that's a crying shame, because here's what's really major to me to really hit home on with this dope discussion. When I had that young man sending that $20 super chat, right? And he's saying that he's 20 years old and he has a lot going for himself. And best believe, it was another young man before him that said that he was 27 and, had his own home and own business. He has acres of land and everything. And like, it's becoming like this common thing to where I'm hearing these brothers say, I'm not dealing with it. And here's what I really want to hit home with this. That's really major to me. We have young men out here that are really putting in the necessary work to build sturdy, strong foundations that know what it is to be a man, a providing man, a building, productive, purposeful man. So with them being so young and establishing those strong, sturdy, healthy foundations so young, can y'all imagine how much more well off they will be once they hit 30? Once they hit 35, 40? They're 20, 27, 23, 25, putting in all of this work now, all of this groundwork now. These men are going to be set. These are the type of young men that could have us solidified with our families. These are the type of young men that will make great husbands, great fathers, to where we don't have to be out here struggling, hustling and working backwards, realizing our faults and flaws too damn late. once these men are already checked out. So that's the really major issue for me, is the fact that we could be in solid, sturdy situations with men from the jump, and then by the time we're 30, by the time we're 35, by the time we're 40, we could be settled in with these men, with our children, or not. Maybe you don't desire children, but you could be nonetheless settled in with these men, thriving, comfortable. All you had to do was be the type of woman that was complementary to that type of man's life. You know, support whatever he was working towards. Not constantly try to be combative, but complementary, not combative, complementary. It's all you have to do. And what's really saddening, you guys, and again, y'all like the video, share the video, and subscribe if you have not already. All right? It really helps us out. What's really sad, ladies, is the fact that men don't really require or want much. You know what I mean? Like, when you really sit down and you talk to men and you try to gain the understanding, right? That's where we go wrong a lot of the times. Like, we don't even try to understand where the man is coming from. It's all about, me. But when you do take the time out to understand where men are coming from, what they are desiring, what they are needing, what they are requiring from women, it's very, very simple things. They want a woman that will listen. They want a woman that will respect them. They want a woman that will love them and nurture them. Be coachable. Be pleasant to be around. They want a woman that they can talk to, that will at least try to understand. Like that's all. When you really boil down those things that men are looking for, it's very like basic needs, basic wants, basic desires. And so many of us today are just so stubborn and stuck in our own ways and blinded by our entitlement and blinded by, just the delusion that we completely hop, skip, and jump over, what men are looking for. And again, like, you could be set up nicely, sis. Hear me out. You can be set up pretty nice by just doing those simple things, like listening, being respectful. You know what I mean? Like, that's the cooking, cleaning up, making sure that you're presentable. Like, it's not really that difficult. And can I also say this? And this may be a little bit touchy, but I'm going to go ahead and say it anyway. If y'all really think about it, one could argue that women get way more benefits and perks out of men than the reverse, right? Because let's really put this into perspective. So you guys know how I just said that men are very simple and they're just looking for somebody to be supportive, listen to them, be respectful, love them, nurture them, care about them and their feelings, things of that sort. Really basically cook, clean, look decent, Well, if we were to implement those things, ladies, we would be able to, in return, receive a nice, comfortable lifestyle to where we have somebody to, I don't know, pay all the bills, or at least pay majority of the bills, or, have somebody to protect us, look out for us, make sure that we're okay. Like, we get a lot of great benefits and perks from men that maybe we don't really appreciate or realize. And all we have to do is pretty much be basic, common courtesy, common decency human beings. You know what I mean? Like you can get put up really nicely just from being a quality human being, somebody that is appreciative, respectful. You know, like it's not that much. You know, it's sex, like things that we all enjoy anyway. Like all you have to do is do those simple things, and you can get so much more out of a man. And I say that respectfully, fellas. Like I don't say that's in an attempt to make women feel like, oh, well, we can really finesse men and we can really get over. I don't mean it that way. But what I am trying to really hit home and bring home to the ladies is like it could all be so simple, but we make it so much more complicated. You know, and we could really make it simple enough to where we can all reap benefits and we can all be happy. We can all be at ease. Because I'm telling y'all right now, the men are starting younger and younger and younger to where they are completely ignoring women that they feel like will not reap them some kind of major return on the investment. And when I say major return on the investment, I'm really talking about basic shit that men are looking for. We can't even give them that. So ladies, like, let's really kind of clean this up. We got a lot of cleanup to do because the men are getting younger and younger and they're all about self. Like, they're not entertaining a woman seriously if she's not trying to reciprocate, appreciate, and bring some kind of, you know, great return on the investment as far as his time, money, resources, love, energy, all of that. Like, they're coming to realize it's really not what it's cracked up to be. I would rather not. I would rather save my time, save my money, save myself the headache and the heartache than to deal with a lot of the women today. And so I really want us to get on code, ladies, with the brothers. You know what I mean? So that we can have healthy, balanced relationships and be set and not have to work backwards like we talked about in the previous dope discussion. Not happen to hit 35 and 40 and then want to try to establish some kind of foundation when we can get with these young men, right? That are currently actively building solid foundation. We can already get with them. Build with them, not build them up, right? I'm not saying to get with a broke bummy dude and build him up, but we can get with these focused, driven, ambitious, wise, intelligent men, young men, and be set and build with them in positive ways. We can be set by the time we're 30, by the time we're 40, 35. It could be good. But instead, we don't want to establish anything. And then when we hit those ages, then we want to try to do what we should have been doing. And by that time, you've already been ignored. You've already been X'd out. Men are not dealing with it. So I just want to come on here and say that real quick. I hope you guys can understand and internalize the message. Fellas, y'all let me know how y'all feel about this quick dope discussion. You know, are you a young man that is really just kind of like focusing in on yourself at this point because you're not really finding the desired results as far as women, you know? Or are you a woman and you understand what I'm saying? Or you're a young woman and you feel like what I'm saying is a bunch of BS? Whatever. We're open to all different perspectives. Again, y'all like the video, share the video, and let's continue the conversation in the comment section. Tanika Marie Dope Discussions. Much love and